Hi all, welcome to the data strategy session for B2C solution architecture. First of all, we're really thankful to Salesforce Developer Group Bangalore, Kishore and other leaders for letting us come in and share more about the data strategy, how B2C commerce, Salesforce platform and marketing cloud comes together, the multiple kind of identifiers, so on and so forth. My name is Gurj. I am the global lead for B2C solution architecture program. And in this session, we'll know more about how we can extend the customer 360 view, talk into a cross cloud lingo, and try to grasp a single view of the customer for our implementations. Yeah. So as we go forward, first of all, thank you for sharing your time and viewing this particular session. I hope you will be able to grasp a lot from this next 30-45 minutes and further strengthen your understanding around cross cloud. Please keep in mind, Salesforce is a publicly traded company, so any kind of buying and purchase decision of our products should be based upon the currently available features and maybe not about any kind of roadmap features which I may talk about. So please consult your account executive before making any kind of purchase decision. Yep, great. So today's agenda looks like this. We'll speak about what kind of data is being shared across clouds. We will also speak about objects, IDs, from that particular cloud, maybe marketing, B2C commerce, platform, service cloud, and what are the currently available connectors for our multi-cloud solutions. Yep. So this is how our current enablement looks like for B2C solution architecture. You need to go to partner learning camp. You will be able to find out a lot more about the courses what we have. You can clearly see the segmentation right over on the left, and there are 29 plus courses which talks about all kind of scenarios as well as topics from B2C solution architecture. So really keen for you to come over, visit partner learning camp and go through these resources. We also have a program site which will give you a good amount of understanding on where to go ahead and try to get access to these resources. Yeah. So I'll quickly just mention the short link for that particular program site, which is okay, which is sftc.co/b2c kit. So please go to this particular URL sftc.co/b2c kit and you will get access to all our videos, courses, labs, etc. The kind of content what we have pulled together as of now. Yep, cool. So moving forward, this is how a typical customer looks like into a familiar B2C territory. The point here we are trying to make is that customer would be present across multiple places, multiple clouds. He could be coming through a social login. He could have introduced himself through multiple email addresses. There could be duplicates being made for that particular persona, and more importantly, it could be guest checkout also. So 70%, 78% of the orders made are like guest orders. That's what a study suggests. So it becomes really hard to understand, okay, what is that primary key, who is that human behind the kind of purchase which has happened so far, and that's where we need to go out and actually check the profile as we move forward. The other challenge what we see when we look into multiple profiles and where the data strategy plays a bigger role is that there could be like varied consent preferences for these profiles. These preferences could be like if I am a e-commerce store present across multiple countries, I need to make sure that I follow the law of the land, and if into a certain country double opt-in is required, I do send, you know, two emails to make sure that the person really wants to sign in, or if a person has, you know, signed unsubscribed from a certain country, I should make sure that he should not get any emails for that particular email address registered for that particular country. So it is a tricky world in terms of how we can actually make sure that uh, a customer who is coming from multiple sources, creating multiple profiles, is addressed, and we are not just able to address that customer, know him or her closely, but also able to upsell, cross sell other items based upon their profile history, right? So how Salesforce is trying to solve this challenge is by introducing customer 360, wherein what can happen here is you can clearly see that this customer is present on Marketing Cloud. We are sending her emails. She did the purchase from B2C commerce. She did browse Experience Cloud, community portals, etc. And on Service Cloud, on platform, I was able to create a contact ID as well. So like there are like multiple profile records for that particular persona, and we are having different values all the time. And what it says is the profile scope is that this customer ID is active or can be called as a unique profile only for Experience Cloud. For B2C commerce, we have a different one. For Marketing Cloud, we have a different subscriber key, so and so forth. So we need to make sure that once we have got all these IDs, how do we plug them together? How do we respect data federation? How do we make sure that the consent and preferences do synchronize at a timely basis? It's not like a customer is actually unsubscribed and the system is not able to be communicated that the customer is unsubscribed, we should not send them any more emails, so and so forth. So that's where we need to figure out a system which talks about how these clouds can actually work together. So what you're seeing right now on your screen is like a Salesforce solution architecture which includes B2C commerce. We have got Salesforce platform in the middle, which includes sales, service, Experience Cloud, so and so forth. We also have marketing platform, Marketing Cloud on the right, and Mulesoft platform as like a middleware to help us through. Now, if I am an architect, I would like to understand that, hey, how do all these systems talk with each other? How do actually I can bring in commerce data to platform? How is all that integration working around? For how much do I have to use connectors? For how much do I need to use APIs? So on and so forth. So to start with, or in fact to keep things simple, Marketing Cloud and Core, they both are connected through MC Connect, right? They both are connected through MC Connect. We have got distributed marketing, which is like which makes a person sitting on the core speak back to Marketing Cloud. It can let a person on core get indulged into marketing activities like sending emails into journeys, so and so forth. We have got something like social customer service, which was a pretty handy tool in the time of Social Studio. What is more important is commerce speaks to marketing, and commerce speaks to service through their API integration. So this is something we need to keep in mind, that we don't have a productized connector for commerce and so for service and marketing, but we do have solutions through which you can actually send commerce data to marketing or service based upon the action being taken there. Lastly, commerce and Mulesoft has got two-way sync. So is the case with other kind of systems, as what you can see out there. So point we are trying to make here is, yes, we have got connectors, we have got APIs to work with in case on how to make these systems talk with each other. Most of these systems are connected into a bi-directional fashion, and then for few of the integrations it is like a one way, like say like marketing to commerce, and if commerce wants to speak to marketing, it has to go through service, and or you have to use other APIs to make it work. So that's how we are seeing that how multiple systems or clouds are actually talking to each other into a typical Salesforce architecture. Yeah. This involves a lot of solutions or a lot of products. What if I don't have these many products to work with? I am trying to look at a very simplistic manner. I just have commerce, I have a Salesforce platform and marketing platform. How do I take care of such kind of integrations? The answer is quite simple. For commerce to Salesforce platform, we will be looking into some sort of two-way API based integration. For platform to marketing platform, yes, we will go and use MC Connect, right? And for commerce platform and marketing, we will be again using an API based integration. I mean API based custom integration. That's how I mean we can address this minimum B2C solution architecture on how to address this and take it forward. Yeah. Now since we have seen like what is the typical approach to connect these platforms, these B2C commerce marketing cloud, it would be good to know that how the data flows across clouds, what are those sort of IDs we are talking about, what are those kind of keys which exist on each of these systems, and more importantly how can we understand the human behind these IDs. Yeah. So let's move on to the next portion of this particular session. Yeah. The data flow across clouds. So basically there are like multiple ways how we can actually go across and develop a customer 360-degree view, right? That is what our that's what our whole purpose is. We have got multiple profiles. Profile like we saw in the very first slide. Someone is coming from social. This is my email one. This is my email two. This one came from like say like phone verification, so and so forth. How do I actually get all those people and assign them to a single human is what my yeah. The whole goal would be that let's identify the customer profile through these identifiers, understand who is who, and then go around and kind of connect them and sync those IDs to make sure that okay, that's where my contact exists and I can use the engagement data or the behavioral data for my purpose. So one thing I can really call out at the beginning itself, that platform contact ID, because platform sits in the middle, becomes that kind of a common identifier between marketing, service and commerce. So these contact ID would be that identifier, but it would be interesting to know that what are the other IDs which exist and how do we typically go out and connect them all together. Yep. So what we are seeing here is that for marketing we got subscriber key, contact key, which kind of represents a marketing cloud contact and subscriber. Subscriber is the person second. Yep. Subscriber is the person to whom we are sending an email. So I will send out an email and that person will be called a subscriber. A contact is that particular contact which has been synced from CRM. So it could be a possibility that I have synced 2 million contacts. I haven't sent any email to them, so I've got 0 subscribers as of now. But as soon as I send someone an email, they have become a contact for me as well. So yes, I've got subscriber key, contact key. On service, I've got account ID, contact ID, like to which account they are belonging to, or is it an independent contact, or is it a part of person account, which is a combination of my contact ID, account ID, things like that. For B2C commerce as well, I've got customer profiles, the kind of storefront from which a person is making a purchase, what is the internal system identifier for a customer profile, and how do we call, or how do we understand that person as an external identifier from B2C commerce. And lastly, based upon the match rules, how can we, what is that person who is on all these platforms? We have got something like match rule ID sitting on the platform side. So point here is, you can actually go in and you can actually go and link subscriber key and contact ID together, and this contact ID could become the subscriber key for MC Connect. Similarly, you can actually go in and connect the customer list ID and customer number, like the external identifier, or as well as you can go around and connect site ID and customer ID, and you can pair scope and profile IDs for REST API integrations. So what we're trying to say here is that the scope and profile IDs can be now be paired for the REST API interactions, because we have just now seen that it is or service to commerce able to connect through MC Connect, and service sits in between marketing and commerce, the bidirectional sync across these data points. Yeah. So what we've seen so far is like, what are the kind of profiles, what do we have in order to go around and kind of understand the aspects into, like, what kind of data we have, how do we bring them together, how do we sync them and move forward. What we are going to now see is, now since we know that these are the IDs and we bring them together, it would be interesting to see in what order do we bring them together. So just how we have seen just now that the profile, the this Salesforce contact ID will be the cross-cloud primary key for the customer data, and it is kind of representing the whole of the Salesforce suite. So it's gonna be the contact ID from Salesforce side, which is gonna be the cross-cloud primary key. Now this contact ID is now referenced as a foreign key into the non-core clouds, because we have just now seen that yes, we can integrate through APIs contact ID and commerce and marketing. So there will be a reference or a foreign key which is now going to be referenced or be used in non-core clouds. And lastly, we will leverage the collection of IDs to retrieve the data. So in case you have got data sitting on to or you are middleware like Mulesoft, then yes, you can also leverage that, and you can collect that kind of data as well to move forward. Yeah, great. Right, as we were talking about, we have used Service Cloud Contact ID as a multi-cloud key, and we are able to go out, carry that contact ID as a reference key, as a foreign key into other clouds, and make things happen. As we move forward, we speak about the enterprise ecosystem. Like suppose my customer is not some sort of data lake. Ecosystem is that these keys have to be maintained independently. That is, the enterprise systems will actually maintain these primary keys, and they have to be coming, or they have to be synced from these external systems back to core, and again then through contact ID itself we will be able to link the kind of relationships we have with the enterprise ecosystem or with the enterprise softwares which the other party might be having at that point of time. So once we have got that that unique ID, the contact ID created across Salesforce ecosystem, it will then be able to be passed on to the other enterprise softwares, and that would help us create a combined view or the 360 view of the customer as we go forward. Now this is important because how you are going to go out and kind of make Salesforce talk to enterprise ecosystem. MuleSoft is going to play a bigger role in that, and MuleSoft has got experience layer, process layer, system layer, which can let you go out and connect the multiple APIs from the enterprise systems back either to your Salesforce clouds, what we are seeing here, or even to customer APIs, or say something like warehouse management to take it forward. So experience layer is something where your end customer is sitting and interacting with your systems. It can be a mobile app, it can be your emails, etc. Process layer is actually where you take decisions, where you kind of update, okay, what is happening right now, where has my order reached, has my orders left the warehouse, is my order out for delivery. And system layer is actually something where I actually go in and talk with the independent ID of that particular shopper, and sync it with the activities happening on the experience and the process side. So system APIs will help us unlock the data from SAP, Salesforce, or e-commerce systems by putting APIs in front of them, so that we can actually go out and securely access these backend systems and be quite consistent and managed in our approach. Process, as I just now spoken about, we can go out and build on our system APIs, combine the streamline the customer data from multiple sources, and then map the customers and orders to create their status and the history out there. So basically these process APIs take the core assets and combine them with some business logic out there to create a higher value of to create some higher level of value in the system. And importantly, these higher level objects are now useful assets that can be further reused. So the whole beauty of the system is, like, if you have created one API, it's more like a composable architecture, so you can reuse those systems at multiple places, so that you need not actually have to double the effort of the integration you would have created between certain systems through MuleSoft. Now what has now happened is I can now go back, and the Salesforce ecosystem customer records are now decorated, which means that they have their own enterprise key, but with the help of contact ID, now you can either choose the contact ID or the enterprise primary key to retrieve the customer data from this ecosystem. So this way the whole chain gets completed, and we are able to understand better that, okay, from where the data has been coming in, how I can use contact ID, how I can even talk to an enterprise key, and then bring that enterprise key data back to Salesforce ecosystem. So this is what all it takes. And lastly, to kind of conclude the whole data strategy aspect, I've got Marketing Cloud, B2C Commerce, and Service Cloud. What is now happening here is that we have got Marketing Cloud and B2C Commerce and Service Cloud, and through MC Connect I'm able to get the engagement data and the tracking data as well, right? So that's happening. And what becomes more important is the subscriber key from the Marketing Cloud is actually linked back to the contact ID, and the contact ID is actually synced back to the contact ID on the service side. So I know that my API integration is helping me keeping all systems together, helping me create one single ID or unified ID across the three systems what we are seeing right now. We have got a productized version, just to summarize once again, which is like MC Connect. MC Connect can actually bring in the contact data from say like CRM, and from marketing it can actually bring in engagement data as well. So it becomes able to bring the engagement history all and able to use contact ID, that one single identifier, to merge between commerce, marketing and service. Yeah. So as we go forward, this is how it looks like in terms of the implementation, and that actually makes things very clear that what do I need to do when I've got multiple clouds. I need to rely upon contact ID coming from platform and service, and through that I should go in and make sure that in any of the scenario I should be able to create a single profile for a customer, in the case of multiple clouds being actually present, and able to bring that data at one place, and then once that data, which is like the behavioral data, transactional data, engagement data, or some sort of history, order history, etc., once that data is at one place, then we can do better actions on top of that data and create one unified profile for the business. So thank you all for seeing this particular session. This was really helpful. In the coming session we're going to talk about how to design a solution, and how to see that in an actually practical experience, how do solution architecture plays a role, and how to go out and elevate a shopper experience with the help of multiple connectors we have just now seen in practice. So thank you, and see you in our next session. Bye bye.